As the list of WNBA players joining Unrivaled, the 3-on-3 Women's Basketball League debuting in January, has continued to roll out, fans have been patiently waiting to see one name: Caitlin Clark. Clark helped bring record viewership and TV ratings to the WNBA in her debut season, and the 22-year-old phenom would be a huge addition to the startup league for its inaugural season. Unrivaled has been trying to recruit the 2024 WNBA Rookie of the Year, according to Front Office Sports. And it looks like the league might be on the precipice of a breakthrough as it prepares for its roster announcement Wednesday. Here's the latest update on whether Clark will join Unrivaled. Clark still has not announced whether she will be joining Unrivaled, but the league did offer a hint that she may soon to hop on board. Unrivaled announced the very specific timing of their club selection through a statement on X, which could be a nod to Clark's jersey number with the Iowa Hawkeyes and the Indiana Fever. The statement from the league tells fans to prepare for the Unrivaled team roster announcement, which will stream on the Unrivaled YouTube channel from 11 a.m. to 11:22 a.m. ET Wednesday. Clark wears number 22. According to several reports, Clark has been contemplating a potential $1 million deal with Unrivaled, which would also include equity in the startup league and revenue sharing. Unrivaled has already announced the signings of 34 WNBA players, including two of Clark's closest friends, current Fever teammate Lexie Hull and former Iowa teammate Kate Martin. Unrivaled will split its 36 players into 6 clubs, with the rosters for each team being announced Wednesday. The roster announcement will reveal which WNBA friends and foes will hit the court together come January 17, and whether or not Caitlin Clark will be a part of the madness. WNBA fans have been left convinced Caitlin Clark has signed up for Unrivaled following a cryptic announcement. The new 3x3 Women's Basketball League, co-founded by WNBA stars Napheesa Collier and Breanna Stewart, tips off in Miami in January and already boasts an impressive roster of players, including Clark's Indiana Fever teammate Lexie Hull. She joins the likes of Collier, Stewart, Angel Reese, Kelsey Plum, Chelsea Gray, Arika Gumbawale, Jewel Lloyd, Kate Martin and Brittany Griner in signing up. Originally slated for 30 players, it has now expanded to 36 after surpassing initial revenue goals. The final roster will be confirmed today, Wednesday, with speculation raging that WNBA Rookie of the Year Clark has signed a blockbusting deal worth $1 million for just a few weeks' work. Unrivaled itself poured gasoline on that speculation with an announcement about club selection. The statement, a mock excuse letter for workers to send to their bosses, read, "What might seem like an average Wednesday in November is in fact a momentous occasion for those who follow women's professional basketball." It then intriguingly asks for workers to be excused between 11 a.m. and 11:22 a.m. ET. The number 22 jersey, of course, belongs to Clark. The letter continues, "Let's be clear, this is not just another roster announcement. This is the moment that sets the foundation for the inaugural season of the new, star-studded 3v3 league, tipping off on January 17, 2025, in Miami and airing on TNT and Max." If it hasn't become abundantly clear yet, you may want to consider creating a calendar hold with a reminder for yourself. The announcement has left basketball fans salivating at the prospect of Clark's involvement. Many also believe A'ja Wilson, who also wears 22, will be part of the final roster. One fan replied, "CC must be playing. 22-minute video? She has to be playing." Another asked, "Wait, why is this a 22-minute video?" A third said, "22-minute video is the clue? A'ja and Caitlin?" A minority of fans raised concerns over Clark's potential involvement though. One said, "If Caitlin joins Unrivaled, I will be hugely disappointed. If she gets injured and it interferes with the WNBA 2025 season, I will definitely stop watching the WNBA." Addressing Clark's potential participation earlier this month, Unrivaled president Alex Basil said, "We're not applying a full-court press the way people think. We are letting her decompress from basketball. She knows that we have a spot for her when she's ready. We have an obligation to continuously add the best of the best wherever we can." If Clark has signed up, a $1 million deal would far outweigh her base salary during her rookie season with Indiana, when she earned $76,535. The bulk of her income comes from endorsements with blue-chip companies like Swoosh, State Farm, Gatorade, Wilson, Bose, and Buick. The women's basketball community was already aware that the new Unrivaled Women's Basketball League would be announcing the 6-player rosters for its 6-team league on Wednesday. The 29th season of the WNBA delivered the most watched regular season in 24 years, finished with the highest attendance in 22 years and set records for digital consumption and merchandise sales in 2024. The main driver was Rookie of the Year Caitlin Clark, the Indiana Fever player who became the NCAA's all-time leading scorer in both men's and women's basketball last year in Iowa and led Indiana to the playoffs for the first time since 2016 and their best record since 2015. Clark's legacy is such that UConn's Paige Bueckers and USC's Juju Watkins, one of the rising stars in women's basketball, recently shared their admiration for Clark during a Fox Sports tribute to Clark's college career. Watkins praised Clark not only for her basketball skills, but also for her character, saying, "Great player, good person as well, she's been great, and I'm really excited for her at this next stage in her career." Watkins' comments reflect the widespread respect Clark has earned for her contributions to the game as she continues to inspire the next generation of players, and surely Angel Reese, Bueckers and Watkins will be inspired by her. As for Juju, just 4 games into her sophomore year, she has already broken Clark's record by becoming the fastest Power 5 player in college basketball history to reach 1,000 career points, doing so in just 38 games to Clark's 40. Since her freshman year, she has become a women's college basketball superstar in her own right. Last season, the 19-year-old averaged 27.1 points on 40.1% shooting, 7.3 rebounds, 3.3 assists, 2.3 steals and 1.6 blocks per game, showing off her all-around game. If she continues at this pace, she will very likely break Clark's record. She has at least 2 years left at USC, so we'll have plenty of time to see if she can do what Clark couldn't, win a national championship. Clark's great success in the WNBA must be attributed to her years in college where she had some incredible moments with the Iowa Hawkeyes before turning pro. In addition to becoming the NCAA Division I all-time leading scorer for both men and women, Clark was a 2-time National Player of the Year with the Hawkeyes. Sadly for her, she reached back-to-back finals, losing to Angel Reese and LSU in 2023 and this year to South Carolina's Camila Cardozo, now with the Chicago Sky. Thanks to Clark, who has made a lasting impact on women's basketball both on and off the court, next year's WNBA season is expected to be even bigger in terms of viewership. Just like this year in college, where she left her mark, it is likely that Paige Bueckers and Juju Watkins will help make it one of the most watched years. One of the most heartening events on the Kansas City sports calendar is the Win for KC Women's Sports Awards Banquet, an annual celebration of the Women's Intersport Network for Kansas City's mission to ignite girls and women through advocating and promoting the lifetime value of sports and fitness, while providing opportunities for participation and leadership development. For the event understood to be the nation's largest luncheon celebrating National Girls and Women in Sports Day, I've urged friends from around the country to attend because it always delivers an uplifting and thought-provoking program highlighted by remarkable speakers. And the tradition that has included megastars Billie Jean King, Jackie Joyner-Kersee, Simone Biles, Sue Bird and Brianna Scurry will be amplified on February 4th when WNBA sensation Caitlin Clark becomes the latest featured guest as the burgeoning event moves to T-Mobile Center to make more room. Sports have played a pivotal role in my life, helping develop critical skills like teamwork, resiliency and confidence that serve me on and off the court, Clark, the WNBA Rookie of the Year and NCAA Division I career scoring leader, including men and women, said in a news release. Win for KC are incredible champions for creating opportunity for girls and women through sports, and I'm excited to join them to celebrate those that are making an impact. The impact is particularly notable this week as Kansas City prepares to play host to the National Women's Soccer League title game at CPKC Stadium, which opened earlier this year as the world's first stadium purpose-built for a women's professional team, and as the ownership group of the KC Current pursues a WNBA expansion franchise. We wanted to find someone who really was the whole picture of what the women's sports movement is right now and also what Kansas City is right now, Win for KC director Taylor Oberstedt said in an interview with The Star on Monday. Added Kathy Nelson, CEO and president of both the Kansas City Sports Commission and Visit KC, she's an exclamation point for us right now. When you think of the power behind Win for KC, the Sports Commission, Kansas City in general, no matter where we go throughout the world right now talking about Kansas City, people know us. And for her to say yes to this means she knows the power of Kansas City and the power of Kansas City supporting women in sport. I don't think she would go out of her way to do this if it weren't for the passion our city has in supporting women leaders and supporting women's athletics. And I think she knows that, and she sees that. Before her mind-boggling career at Iowa and becoming the Indiana Fever selection at number 1 overall in the 2024 draft, Clark grew up less than 3 hours away in West Des Moines, Iowa. She has so many ties to us, Oberstedt said. Among those are forever allegiance to the Chiefs, including long ago wearing what she called an embarrassing picture of me in all Chiefs gear that she spoke to on a Manning cast during last season's Chiefs-Eagles game. In our basement, we had a Chiefs vending machine, she said then, also noting she has cousins in Kansas City and was a true fan even when they weren't very good. Meanwhile, Clark also has made an impression on Patrick Mahomes, who along with his wife, Brittany, and Angie and Chris Long are in pursuit of the WNBA team. He's long been conscious of her career, including saying last season that he hoped he'd never have to play her one-on-one. Because she'll be for sure getting buckets on me, he said, smiling, at a pre-Super Bowl news conference. That was all part of what's become known as the Caitlin Clark effect, which has rippled into WNBA attendance and TV ratings because of her record-breaking, often mesmerizing, performances. As a high school and college basketball player, Oberstedt lamented, I was used to not having people in the stands, and there just wasn't that much excitement around basketball. And I think even just watching the WNBA playoffs, you can't help but get emotional. It's given a spotlight on women's basketball and just also women's sports that we haven't really had in the past. I think we're finally getting the acknowledgement we deserve as female athletes, which just translates to so much more. One way or another, it might also translate to more impetus for the WNBA movement here. Clark's overall impact enhances what Nelson sees as growing momentum for a cause she has seen take a turn from skepticism. Why would we want that now? To what do we need to do to land this? Having entrenched and prospective fans see Clark here can only help, and it's not a bad thing for Clark to see what T-Mobile Center might be like for a WNBA team. But that's also a side point in the big picture. Because her impending presence here itself, including her eagerness to speak about mental health as Win highlights its wellness initiative, is the exclamation point.